Hello guys, welcome to Sippin Spillin with Syd and
Mike
from 3 Mississippi. He almost forgot his name for a second. It's been a day.
Oh, it's been a day.
It's been a day.
It's been. You know, we film these Sippin Spillins a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times the day before.
Right.
So we film it the evening before and then post it tomorrow morning.
So you guys are seeing this on a Monday. Today for us it's Sunday evening.
Right. The end of the day on Sunday, and it's been a Sunday.
It's been a Sunday.
It's been a very different Sunday. The routine was off, and then like weird things.
Yeah. So it started off with.
I got a little more gray in my beard right now than I had this morning. I'm gonna tell you right now.
That is accurate.
And I'm puckered up.
He is full 10 pucker.
Full 10 pucker.
Full 10 pucker. So it started off. You know, we always get to church really early, like about 30 minutes before service because Frankie's got choir practice. Well, we went inside, we were sitting down in our pew, and Frankie comes walking in from the way wrong side of the church, and I'm like, where were you? And she's like, I went to Bible study with youth, and I was like, but you had choir practice, and she's like, it's fine, choir practice got pushed back, I went there first, and I'm like, okay. So that was the first thing I was like, well, that's different, that never happens. Well, then we were already not going to our normal Sunday lunch that we go to with our neighbor's family because a bunch of people were sick and everybody was like, let's just skip this week. Well, when that happens, we always go to lunch with our friends that are part of that group that we sit with at church, and Beth and Ryan and all the kids. Well, so we went to this place called Southern Traditions, which is
We've gone there it's probably our third or fourth time now.
Probably fourth or fifth, I think, at this point. We've gone several times. It's just real good, like Southern home style, the collard greens, the mashed potatoes, the macaroni.
Today was turnip greens.
Yeah, it's a little different every time, but I always get
sweet potatoes, meatloaf.
And fried chicken. Fried chicken was good today. Anyway, so we went there, and as we're sitting there, we were kind of talking about our day because it's Super Bowl. The kids have a big youth group party tonight, and the girls wanted to hang out together between church and youth tonight. So we were like, that's fine. We don't really have much going on. Well, the guys were talking, and they decided they had some stuff that they wanted to do.
Well, it was a really nice day.
It was.
It has been terrible here. We've got a video coming out later in the week that we filmed yesterday. Yeah. Where I was out working on the chicken coop in the rain all day.
He actually filmed that 100% by himself because I was working in the office on something else. Didn't even know he went outside in the rainstorm to work on the chicken coop.
It was miserable.
I didn't find out till later when I came downstairs and he was outside in the rain.
But I got a lot done.
He did.
And so today it was beautiful. I mean, it's still super wet and soggy. I mean,
there's a lot of puddles.
Yeah, it's It's muddy.
It's muddy.
But the sun was out. It was nice.
Sun's out, guns out.
So I was kind of trying to decide, what am I going to do?
What happened? Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out. Oh.
Stick around. You'll see him
Oh, that's the title of this video.
Yeah.
Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Y'all don't want to miss the end of this story.
Yes.
Why I'm puckered and why she thinks that's funny. Thanks, Ryan. So anyway, I haven't decided what I'm going to do today. There's several things that I can do. There's a few things that I need to do. Nothing that's super critical. So I just got to decide. And I was talking to Ryan, and he's got some work needs done on a fence too. And anyway, at one point somebody mentioned that we needed to go pick up a chair, like a reclining chair, from his mom's house and take it over to his brother's house. Because his brother's about to have knee surgery on Tuesday. And and his mom lives right next door to us. So I was like, well, just call me when you're headed over to your mom's house. I'll help you get the chair and I'll help you take it over there and unload it.
It's a big chair. It's like a big reclining chair. Like this isn't just like a chair.
Turned out not to be too bad. It was still a two-person lift.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what happened. We came home. We had to stop. Is the diesel still in the back of the truck?
If you didn't take it out, then yes.
Oh. Okay. So I still got a chore to do tonight. But we had to stop and get some diesel for the tractor on the way home, or for the lawnmower, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever Tim calls it.
Whatever. Kenny
needed a drink.
Kenny needed a drink.
Yeah.
So we stopped and got some diesel, got back to the house, and Ryan just comes over here to pick me up.
And drop off Morgan. We were switching
Yeah.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was taking the girls.
So when he gets here, I'm in the middle of trying to replace a light fixture on the porch. So, and of course, he's tall enough, he don't even have to stand on anything. He just goes, here, I'll hold it for you. Like, thanks. And while we're messing with that, this white Tahoe, probably like a 97, 98 Tahoe, just down, like, we could see it, comes driving by and just pops off 3 rounds into the field across the way from us, pointing away from us.
Yeah.
And then keeps driving. It drives kind of slow, almost like it was looking to see what it shot at. Like, it was weird. It was weird. And then it went north on the road that cuts north from us and disappeared. And we were like, that's weird. And I even said to Ryan, I was like, should we go investigate that?
This was his first mistake, making that comment to Ryan.
Well, apparently Ryan, if you ever tell Ryan, hey, should we go check that out? As far as Ryan's concerned, it's on.
He was given the green light, but later,
yeah.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
So anyway, so we get that handled, the light, we get it all buttoned up, and we actually, went down. I took him down to show him my idea for the pond, which is coming up in a later video, and he had different ideas for similar location, but kind of different layout, different concept, which I actually like more. So I'm gonna kick it around, get a few more opinions, but some good ideas. So anyway, and then we decided, all right, let's go get this chair. So we get in his truck, we get to the end of our driveway, we turn right, and about as soon as we get straightened out, white Tahoe merges in front of us, coming off the road that we saw him go onto. And I said, Ryan, that's that same dude. Guarantee it. Just as I said that, arm goes out the window, bah, 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 fires 3 shots into the field. What's Ryan do? One hand on the horn, 1 foot on the gas. And he's, oh, no, he says. And I said, Ryan, don't get him shooting at us. He did not hear me say that. Because he just pulled right up beside this guy and just kind of pinched him, and this guy stopped. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm profiling anybody. I've had some profiling training. I'll just say that if I were to profile somebody, this guy met the profile for somebody you don't want to do that to. All right? And we know he's got a gun, and we know it works, and we know he just fired 3 shots. I don't know a gun that holds 3 shots. A semi-automatic pistol. Maybe there's one somewhere. As far as I'm concerned, that thing's still loaded, and it's probably in his hand right now. And Ryan starts yelling at him.
With Mike between him.
I'm terrified right now. I am This guy's right here. We're like right on him, like this. He's obviously on the driver's side. Ryan is over here yelling across me at this guy, telling him, don't do that. That's our land you're shooting on. And luckily, Ryan's intimidating. And this guy was scared.
He's not intimidating until he turns it on. He turned it on.
Be authoritative. He let this kid know, and then the kid peeled off. And I was like, man, for a minute there, I was thinking, this is how I go. Just, wow. Anyway, so the guy peels out and then turns around and peels out again. And it turns out Ross actually saw part of that, and because he lives not far across from there,
we can see.
And he heard the shots, and he actually came to his door to see what was up and saw, the few seconds of confrontation, if you want. It was confrontation, and then saw the vehicle peel off and then turn around and peel off again. So. So then we, went on about our day getting the chair and
Ross
taking
is
the
his
chair.
nephew, for context. They're all part. It is all their family land right there.
And he probably had a 308 next to the front door or something, like, I don't know, but whoo, man, that was a puckering situation. And and afterwards, Ryan's like, hey man, sorry about that. Didn't mean to scare you. Oh, man.
So I told him, I said, in all fairness, in Southern, when you say, should we go investigate that, that's green light for, hey, if that
It's on.
happens again, we're gonna go like handle it. And I was like, you need to clarify that with Ryan next time, that you're not just gonna go, confront.
No, I agree.
Or that you weren't down to like go confront quite in that way.
There's a lot of ways to investigate. I guess if we discuss the definition of the word investigate, we could have got his license plate number. We could have done a drive-by and just collected some information on, height, weight, race, eye color. If you happen to see, we could have collected some info, right? Nah. No, we just gonna pull up on him, pinch him off to the road, give him a couple of words about what he's doing wrong, and don't do that around here, and then send him on his way. And it worked.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
So yeah. But
that's what happened. Like, and this was the funny thing is they had left. I had already left. No, I hadn't. I was still home with the girls when you guys left, wasn't I?
yeah, you were still here when we left.
So I didn't hear the second one. We were in the house. I didn't hear the second incident. I saw and heard the first one, but we were inside, didn't hear any of that. Didn't find out about this until I got back from taking the girls and he got back with Ryan.
Yeah, and who knows how often something like that happens out here. We got open fields around us. It was small arms fire, out of a vehicle on a roadway facing the opposite direction of us. As she can't hear my deer rifle from in the house sometimes, so
yeah.
we were never going to hear that. We just happened to be
on
there
the porch when he drove by, and from our porch, like, you can't see that there's people on the porch when you're driving down that road, but if you're on the porch, you can see what's going on the road, right? So he probably didn't realize there was anybody outside, like, that could see him.
Yeah, he's just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Got a new toy. Didn't want to shoot it in the field near Mama's house. Didn't even want Mama to know he had it. So he went for a drive down some country road and found an open field and popped some rounds out. I mean, they're definitely, there likely was no malicious intent there. Who knows? There could have been malicious intent. He could have stole the gun. He could have been making sure it works because he's getting ready to go commit a crime. I mean, look, we could risk manage this all day long. But the bottom line is when Ryan started barking, he was like, sorry, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I was over here just going, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to unpucker tonight. Thanks for that.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I got my cardio in.
That's right.
He's like, my heart was racing.
Heart rate was, and I wasn't packing,
Yeah, they were literally just driving down to his mama's house, like around he wasn't, so to move a chair.
And it wouldn't have mattered if I was. Yeah. It wouldn't have mattered if I was.
Yeah, it's not like you were going to draw on him.
I'm right hand dominant. My right hand's between me and a door that's right here. This guy has he's got all the advantage. He's got the drop. So, yeah, it was
good times.
It was not ideal if it had gone south.
Yeah. But you know what? But did you die? No. And you have a story, so it was a win.
That was the last time I'm going to tell this story. I think I'm just going to leave it there.
Not mean.
Yeah. Because, we just told the story to the internet.
Yeah. It's out there now. We did get permission from said parties.
Yeah. I called him and I was like, dude, we're about to film Sippin and Spillin. This is where we talk about stuff that happened.
This is like the biggest thing that happened today. So how can we not?
I was like, I don't know how I not tell this, but
and Ryan laughed.
I'm going to ask your permission first. He's like, man, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny.
There you go.
But yeah. And then I still have to go out later to go pick up the child. But
that's probably not the last time I'll tell that story.
It's the last time you'll tell it on the interwebs.
Right.
But I'm sure.
Right. That's not
in front of mutual friends. I'm sure it will get told next Sunday to Alan. I'm
sure
it will get told next Sunday to Ross again. I'm sure.
Well, Alan, Ross, those folks that live right here need to know because we need to all be keeping an eye out for that vehicle.
Yeah.
Because we gave that individual a little bit of intel, right? We told him, he told him, this is our land you're shooting on. And then we pulled into a driveway that family lives in. So You know, and maybe this is me overthinking it because of a little bit of background, but that's just, you know, that's how I think.
But yeah.
So we need to just keep an eye out for that vehicle and, you know, be mindful. But I think the likelihood is this is just a kid that was looking for somewhere to pop off a couple of rounds, and that was a secluded area. And when somebody called him on it, he puckered up and realized maybe I shouldn't do that around here. Said sorry, yes sir, and wanted to get away from the conversation as fast as he could. So
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because I know we're gonna get comments. Proper things have been.
I'm seriously sitting here debating on whether or not we need to start over and not even post this Sippin Spillin.
Why? There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I just want to say, like, proper people have been notified. Like, it's under control. Yeah. Like, it's not like, yeah. So it's just, I just thought it was a very, like, and I even told him, I was like, because he even said, well, maybe I was living, like, near a city for too long where, like, you don't do that because they will turn on you. Whereas here, it's more like, oh, yes, sir, sorry, I didn't know. It's,
yeah. You know. Man, yeah, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
We have lived in an environment for quite a while where if you pulled up beside confronted somebody that just fired some rounds out of the driver window of their car.
Well, first of all, when that happens, that's called a drive-by shooting.
Right.
That's generally means you're in a bad neighborhood. So
right.
It's not something like, it's the context is first of all very important.
Right.
Firing into a field versus firing into a neighborhood, it's not the same.
Right.
So it's a different intent, right? It's just the intent is different, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
So,
and I think people that have lived here in this neighborhood for a long time probably have all done that. Or a lot of them have.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I think Ryan was coming at it from a very different mindset than I was coming at it from. To him, this is just one of the kids that lives down here that's doing something he shouldn't do, and an adult needs to set him straight, you know? To me, this was, I'm confronting some random who, for all I know, may have just stole a gun and was just trying to make sure it works. Like, my risk management mind goes to the worst case scenario, right? Which, you know, probably is not necessary.
Well, it's the same, like for example, like if we're somewhere like women, like we'll reprimand somebody else's kid, which like we wouldn't do in some situations, but there's some situations where we'll do it. If the kid's about to hurt themselves or hurt somebody else, like, I will step in and stop that child. It's the same thing. Like, that was just the guy version of it.
Yeah.
There was just weapons involved. Not usually weapons involved when we, like, step in. Just saying. Like, it's usually, like, a kid climbing and the mom's, you know. But, like, I'm just saying. Like, it's just... it's just one of those wonderful things that we now get to experience here in the South.
Hey, we hear gunshots, you know.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
but it's like
leading people practice in their front. You don't need to join a shooting range when you live out in the middle of nowhere like this.
But you can't be driving down the county road and like randomly put your window down and start just firing out the window. Like that's not allowed.
They had livestock. that was someone else's land.
Yeah.
That someone else just happened to be right behind him, and I was in the passenger seat of his truck.
Yeah.
And that someone else has livestock, you know.
And 2 weeks ago there was cows on that spot.
And there's horses, it's just...
Oh, it did scare the horses. The horses on the opposite pasture did, because that was, like, I heard the gunshots, but the
first three you heard.
The first three. And I saw the horses, like, scatter. And I was like, oh my gosh, did he just shoot at the horses? Because at the time I couldn't tell, like, which side of the car the shots came out. And I was like, oh my god, did he just shoot at the horses? That was my first thought. But then they were like, no, he's firing off the other side.
Yeah, I could tell he was firing to the north there. And he fired to the north at the same spot when he circled back and came back like a half hour later. So, and that spot is a wide open spot, you know. So if this was just a kid who wanted to go shoot some rounds out of his, you know, driver's window of his car, which, you know, why do you know, whatever.
I feel like there's more productive things he could have done this time than that on a Sunday. But
so do I.
But anyway, that was our day, guys. Like, that was our day. So he moved our blue tractor, moved the bush hog around a little bit today.
So Ryan came back and helped me. I had some problems with the 3-point hookup on the back of that because that bush hog that I got with that big blue tractor, which by the way we haven't named, and you don't get to name it.
I said you.
No, you do not. You absolutely do not. You named
you
the side by side Miranda.
No, I didn't.
Malin, whatever.
Listen, my truck is Truby.
You're not naming any of my tractors.
But listen, this one makes sense, and I think you will like it. Are you ready? Okay.
No, I don't think you should tell me.
No, yes, you have Kenny. Okay, who's orange, right? Your blue tractor should be named either Cartman or what's the other kid from South Park?
How many of y'all think she should just stay out of the naming of my tractor?
No, you should name it from South Park.
No.
Why not?
No.
You have Kenny and you could have Cartman.
The only reason Kenny is funny is because who killed Kenny?
I know.
But you don't have to stick with the theme of South Park.
I feel like it's...
You can stick with the theme of who killed. So like now,
Roger Rabbit?
think about, so like, who was the Transformer that was always broken? That was Bumblebee, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
But he was yellow. So that mindset.
Optimus Prime.
No, but it needs to be blue.
Optimus Prime was blue.
But he wasn't always broken. You know what's broken? Your soul. Get off my tractor.
No, I feel like this is important. We need to name the tractor. I feel like we were...
I shouldn't have brought this up until I came up with a name. It's not yours to name.
You're not good at naming stuff. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy right now?
Oh, I'm going over names for you right now.
I can't even say what his nickname for me used to be because it's not appropriate. That's how good...
You didn't used to be appropriate.
Oh my lord. Listen, Linda.
Cheers.
I'll think of a good name. Okay, if you guys have any suggestions for the blue Ford tractor name, drop it in the comments. But I feel like you know that tractor kind of it's like a lowrider. It could be your drive-by shooting tractor.
So it's too soon.
It's too soon.
I mean, it's too soon.
Too soon. We could put hydraulics on it. We could have it. No, we're not all about that life. Anyway, well, if you guys have an idea for what we should name the Ford blue tractor, I think I know.
If you don't know what tractor we're talking about, Google it. It's a Ford 3000, 1968.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a cool looking old tractor. It's pretty, but it needs a name. We haven't named it. So, and we've got Kenny, the orange Kubota. We've got the 4x4. I went with the themes continuing from my truck, which is Truby. So we have Malin is the Polaris side by side, and Weezer is the 4x4 because all steel
4x4.
That's what I said.
4-wheeler.
Whatever. It's the same thing.
Okay. That's just like saying a 12-pack and a pack of 12 is the same thing. Yes, it is. But
whatever. Look.
But it's not right.
Listen. I don't care.
Frankie came in and said, "Dad, we bought the last pack of 12 of Bard's root beer." I said, "Really? How different is that from a 12-pack?" Like, I'm literally thinking that there's something different about this packaging situation. And she's like, "Well, it's a pack of 12, Dad." I was like, "Yeah, most people call it a 12-pack. She's like, "Well, they had 24 packs there, but this was a pack of 12. I was like, "Stop!"
What was the other thing she said?
Why wasn't that a pack of 24? Because it's a 24-pack.
What was the thing she said today that made you think of that in the first place earlier? Where she said something really backwards.
No, at lunch?
Yeah.
That was because of the conversation her and I had in my office last night.
She said something else.
No, that was what it was. Oh, that's right. She did say something at lunch that reminded me of that conversation.
I can't remember what it was because it was equally as...
It was equally as
like flipped around.
From, yeah. But anyway, I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, anyway. But yeah, so drop a comment, guys, if there is a tractor name that you think would fit that Ford. Late 60s model, Ford 3000. With the, what did I think it had? The 3,000 horsepower that one time because I got confused.
She's trying to describe it to somebody. She's like, "Yeah, it's blue, it's a Ford, it's like 3,000 horsepower." I was like, that would be
Driving a
cool.
rocket ship.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, whatever. I wasn't listening to what I was saying. But anyway, so yeah, drop a comment if you guys have a good, cool name idea. I think, well, maybe like what else is blue? Like R2D2. Like you could call it R2. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Anyway, drop a comment if you have an idea. I think that next time you go out with Ryan, we're gonna make you wear a bulletproof vest.
I'm not going anywhere with Ryan again. I'm just not getting in his truck.
There you go. We hope you guys have a blessed week and a less eventful week than we had a Sunday. And we will see you tomorrow.